After a series of repetitions, I stopped knocking and I waited. I wanted to see if Elaine would offer the behavior and bark on her own. As soon as she did, I clicked, then treated. Elaine's offered bark ranged from a low growl to a quiet bark to a loud piercing bark. I want a loud bark, so I simply stopped reinforcing low growls or quiet barks, only clicking for loud, piercing barks. Once I got the bark I liked, I added a cue. I cued a talk-talk hand gesture just as Elaine was about to begin barking. This is a very important part of training a useful bark cue. It is important that Elaine only be reinforced for barking when it is cued. I intentionally allowed Elaine to offer a bark and intentionally did not click then treat for it. After a moment of silence, I gave the cue and then clicked the resulting bark. The dog must learn that reinforcement only comes from this behavior when it is cued. Teaching a quiet cue is easy with classical conditioning. Simply give the cue for quiet. I'm using a shh hand gesture. Pause for half a second, and then give the dog a treat. With the consistent pairing of the quiet cue to the delivery of a treat, the dog will soon start to anticipate the delivery of a treat once the cue is given. It is very important that during this process, that when you give the quiet cue, you give a treat. Using classical conditioning to train behaviors means that once you give the cue, you promise to give the treat, no matter what the dog is doing, including when they continue to bark. In the following video on the last trial, you will see Elaine look to the floor when I cue quiet. She's looking for the treat. Quiet is an operant behavior. After enough repetitions of pairing the quiet cue with the treat, you should observe that upon giving